You try to jump from that horse and run, you're going to break something.
My run and dismount days are over, darling. Miss you, sweetheart.
You too.
It's a very good marriage. They have the ease with each other that a couple who've been together a long time have. They can tease each other, they can insult each other, they can argue with each other. They're in an absolute committed partnership with each other. And it's an equal partnership as well.
Helen played my wife in Mosquito Coast 40 years ago, and it's almost like we've been married for 40 years.
44.
Okay, I'm rounding down to make us feel younger.
Well, that's not working.
I'm delighted to be working with Helen. She's got incredible vigor, concentration. The partnership will become critically important when the roles have to shift.
Washing machine seems like a good idea, I must admit.
It is the future, ma'am.
He almost had me on the freezer, but I don't know about the rest of that stuff.
It's this collision of this old way of life meeting this new way of life.
The Duttons are more old school, traditional, and coming to terms of like, well, how are we going to integrate into this quickly changing world? My first day was the scene where the Dutton family goes to Bozeman. The way they created these beautiful facades and storefronts and kiosks, and I looked around and I couldn't believe how beautifully all the atmosphere players were dressed, decked out in 1920s period costumes, all real vintage. Both of our costume designers went to such great lengths to create an authentic world, and I think it really shows.
This is wild, Jack. Absolutely wild.
The speakeasy was great fun. We let it go wild. We really did it to the nines. The exterior was in one location, the interior was in a different location, but I think we married them quite well.
1923 set during the Prohibition. Going to the speakeasy is a little wild of them to do, and it does show how free-spirited they both are, which is why I think they are a great match.
We actually shot a movie together 6 years ago.
My very first movie.
Where we were boyfriend and girlfriend. And it went well, and we enjoyed working together, and we've stayed friends since.
He's part of the reason I love acting in general.
To know that the girl that I have to be really intimate with and have this loving relationship with is a friend that I've done this with before, it's been flawless.
They're young and passionate, and episode 3 is really where we see Elizabeth lose her innocence in a lot of different ways.
Marry me.
That's a statement.
It's a demand.
He's a man of action, and when he decides that's what he wants, he goes, he does it. And I think she grounds him in the present moment, gets him out of his head, and he feels safe emotionally. I don't believe that he's conscious of that on any level, but I think on paper, like, this is a really terrible idea for both of us. I'm consistently worried that I'm gonna get her killed. And I'm sure she has moments where she's like, this guy's fucking crazy. What am I doing here? Ultimately, it's just a soul connection. She's leaning completely into the unknown and adventure.
I've never felt small before.
She didn't realize the world was so big and how small it makes her feel. That's me feeling those things as well, because we are going on this epic journey just as Spencer and Alexandra are. And we shot the scene where the elephant attacks the car, and they had this herd of real elephants, and their favorite snack were these oranges, and so they would have us feed them oranges because they were really scared of us because they're very sweet animals. And then they would have them run towards us in this car, and we would just be sitting there like, oh my gosh.
The stunt team in South Africa helped design a rig where we could actually see the actors inside the car getting flipped, and we were able to keep them safe, but it still gave that element of danger where you're actually seeing the actors, so we could tie them into a puppeteered elephant that hits the car and flips it over. Anytime that you can put your actors in these stunt spots, it's the icing on the cake. It's just the best.
We insist on doing all of our stunts. It's been so physical.
Even things that on paper you don't imagine would be very physical. Just stalking a lion. I've never stalked a lion, but Spencer stalked a lion plenty of times, and the level of control you have to have over your body, everything has to be so intentional, and those were some of the most physically demanding days, which was very surprising.
It's gonna be this all night.
We shot on 2 separate days. Once was in a real tree. So we climbed up and we were harnessed in, but it was scary. You were like, how do I stand in a tree while I'm imagining a herd of lions attacking me right now? Our characters are never just sitting and hanging out.
Every time they're presented with imminent danger, it just deepens their love for each other. It deepens his protectiveness over her.
Darling, there are not words to describe the pickle we just found ourselves in.
We need a higher tree.
Spencer is a potential general, and with what happens to Jacob, he's very much needed.
Get out of the way! Get out of the way now! Jacob is so much the obstacle for the shepherds that he and his family are ambushed on the way from town back to their ranch.
No one's safe. Jacob's shot to pieces. You think he might die.
This is where I'm out. This is where I end. It was so much fun to shoot that. We took 3 days, and we had a really safe, hard-working crew.
The biggest challenge is just the scope of it. I have over 30 stunt guys on horseback, firing weapons, falling off horses, lots of pyrotechnics. We have a runaway wagon in it. There's just a lot of moving parts.
One of the regulars, Diane, was sitting under the floorboard, and I was going to have my stunt double do it, but I just felt like if I could get the shot I wanted to, it would make the story a little better. I didn't even have to act because I was scared. I definitely got beat up, though. There was one moment when Darren had to jump over the floorboard, and he stepped on my fingers, but it worked.
I love the idea of her wearing white because it's like a loss of innocence, kind of like where she was in the story.
Harrison's a really good horseback rider. I grew up riding the subway. I didn't grow up riding horses. And he just kind of turns to me and he just goes, "Hey, Batch, I think we should come around and like gallop up and start firing to these trees, moving that. You want to do that? You comfortable doing that?" And I said, "Yeah, all right, let's go. All right, roll the cameras. You got 5 cameras, let's go."
Some of it was really fun. We were running and dodging squibs, and of course we were losing the light, and the tension was running high, and we had to get the shot, and it was gonna rain. But sometimes that urgency actually helps those moments because you just don't have time to mess around. You just have to get in there and get it.
I'm a man of my word!
Run.
There was a delay in getting me here because of the visa, so I turned up off the plane literally the next day, getting out of this 1920s car, and I was shooting a Thompson submachine gun at Harrison and Helen. Like, seeing The Godfather, I had to pinch myself. They are true icons and true legends, and it was totally surreal. That's my first day.
It's on from there on. It's fight for your life. Circumstances, which puts us all on our toes.
Spencer must come home now. Get him home. Get him home.
This Behind the Story is brought to you by Tractor Supply for Life Out Here. 1923. All episodes now streaming exclusively on Paramount+.